Welcome back to Z Coins. Today, we journey into the unexpectedly fascinating world of American coinage, and in particular, a small yet historically rich treasure. The United States of America 1977 mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Now you might be thinking, it's just a penny. What story could it possibly tell? But that's where the magic of numismatics begins. A simple copper coin can connect you to politics, economics, mistakes made at the mint, and the unforeseen thrill of discovering that a piece of pocket change might actually be worth far more than 1 cent. So settle in, because we are diving deep into the story of a coin minted almost half a century ago. A coin that millions have handled, but only a few have truly looked at. This is not just a lecture. It's a journey through the history, artistry, and collector intrigue surrounding the 1977 Lincoln penny and the mint marks that define its value to date. Let's start by rewinding the clock, way back to the era in which this coin was made. The year was 1977. The United States was moving beyond the turbulence of the Vietnam War era. Gerald Ford had recently left office, and Jimmy Carter was now president. Cultural shifts were rolling across the country, disco beats echoed in nightclubs, Star Wars had exploded onto the big screen, and technology was inching toward a digital breakthrough that only a few visionaries could imagine. Yet in the background, in a world where billions of everyday transactions depended on physical currency, the United States Mint was quietly creating the coins that would become part of the country's daily life. Day after day, presses struck millions of Lincoln cents, each one a small copper-based artifact bearing the iconic visage of Abraham Lincoln, sculpted by Victor David Brenner decades earlier. Now, even though billions were minted, the most interesting part begins with the small letters, those little mint marks that many people notice only after a collector points them out. In 1977, the Lincoln cent was produced at 3 main locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia cents came with no mint mark at all. Denver cents wore a small D just below the date. And San Francisco specialized in producing proof coins, marked with a clean, sharp S. Each of these mint marks affects the coin's rarity, its desirability, and ultimately its value in today's collector market. But before we dive into the value and the full story behind these mint marks, we need to understand why the Lincoln cent holds such a prominent place in American coin collecting. Introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln cent was revolutionary. It was the first widely circulating American coin to feature a real historical figure instead of a symbolic representation of liberty. Over time, its design became a mainstay of American life, so familiar that people almost forgot it was art. But to numismatists, the Lincoln cent is an eternal canvas of subtle variations. Differences in strikes, errors in die preparation, double dies, weak mint marks, strong mint marks, repunched mint marks, and all the fascinating production quirks that transform a simple penny into something valuable. The 1977 variety in particular stands out not because it is exceptionally rare as a whole, but because the quality of individual coins can vary widely. This is where collectors perk up. The difference between a regular pocket change penny and a premium collector piece can be enormous, and it all lies in the details. The Philadelphia Mint, which produced the bulk of the 1977 pennies, did not use a mint mark at the time. These no-mark coins are common, but high-grade examples, shiny coins without scratches or wear, are surprisingly tough to find because they were used heavily in everyday circulation. And so a Philadelphia 1977 penny with a perfect or near-perfect strike becomes a desirable item among collectors who specialize in high-grade sets. The Denver Mint, on the other hand, was known for producing huge quantities of cents as well, but the D mint mark itself gives the coin an added layer of interest. Some years are famous for their D mint mark errors, and although 1977 is not famously known for a major minting mistake, it has its share of unusually well-struck examples and also some poorly struck ones. Coins that tell the quiet story of the mint's production quirks. And then there is the San Francisco Proof Edition. These coins were not meant for circulation at all. Proof coins undergo a detailed and careful minting process where polished planchets are struck multiple times using meticulously prepared dies, resulting in sharp details, mirror-like fields, and frosted design elements that make the coin almost glow. For 1977, these S-proof pennies are among the most visually stunning versions of the Lincoln cent design. They weren't common pocket money. They were collector items from the moment they left the mint. Now, what makes all of this so intriguing is that the value of a 1977 penny today can range from 1 cent all the way up to collector-level prices, depending entirely on condition, rarity of specific variations, and market demand. A well-preserved mint-state 1977 penny carries a level of desirability that ordinary circulated examples simply don't have. Collectors use a grading system that ranges from poor, barely identifiable as a coin, all the way up to mint-state grades such as MS65, MS67, or even MS68. At those levels, the coin shows almost no imperfections. The fields are nearly flawless. The luster is strong. The strike is clean. The details of Lincoln's hair, beard, and clothing are crisp. These high-grade coins, especially certified by trusted grading companies, hold the kind of value that surprises people who assume pennies are worthless. But the journey of understanding value doesn't stop with condition. There's something even more exciting: the hunt for unusual forms and minting varieties. And even though the 1977 penny is not known for any dramatic national headline errors like double dies or missing mint marks, collectors still search individual coins carefully, looking for unexpected varieties, minor die chips, die cracks, off-center strikes, and any subtle differences created accidentally during the minting process. TOA collector. These minting anomalies aren't flaws, they're stories. They are evidence of the immense pressure, heat, speed, and complexity of the coin minting machinery of the time. They are tiny pieces of history, frozen in metal. But beyond rarity and mint marks, the true heart of the 1977 Lincoln penny's value lies in its connection to the past. Every single 1977 penny you pick up has traveled through decades of human life. It might have sat in a jar on someone's kitchen table, been used to buy candy from a gas station in the late 70s, fallen between couch cushions in the 80s, passed hands at a flea market in the 90s, or sat untouched in a roll forgotten in a desk drawer for more than 30 years before resurfacing. Coins carry silent histories, personal histories, ones we'll never fully know, but that somehow make them feel alive. And for collectors, the thrill lies in imagining that you might be the one to uncover a high-grade example that somehow avoided the scratches, dents, and dulling that affected nearly all the others produced in that same year. So what is the modern-day value of the United States of America 1977 mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny? Well, ordinary examples still found in circulation are typically worth face value. But the higher-grade ones, the ones that look almost untouched by time, can rise in collector interest significantly. And today, with grading technology more advanced, and with collectors more eager to complete their collections with high-quality examples, the market for these standout coins is stronger than many people realize. We're diving deep into a story that blends American history, minting mystery, collector excitement, and the thrill of discovering value in the most unexpected pocket change. If you've ever glanced at a small brown penny and thought, it's just 1 cent, this video might completely change the way you look at coins forever. Because today, we are uncovering the fascinating world behind a very specific coin. The United States of America 1976 mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. And trust me, this tiny coin carries a much bigger story than its humble size suggests. The value, the rarity factors, the historical setting. Everything builds up to a surprisingly intriguing tale. So sit back, relax, and get ready for one of the most captivating deep dives into a piece of American money you may have never thought about twice. The setting America in 1976. To truly understand why the 1976 penny is special, we need to step back into the unforgettable year of 1976. This was the year of the United States bicentennial, the grand celebration of America's 200th birthday. The whole country was buzzing with patriotism. Parades filling the streets, cities lighting fireworks, and commemorative designs being printed, minted, and displayed everywhere. But here's the interesting twist. While quarters, half dollars, and dollars received bold bicentennial redesigns featuring drums, Independence Hall, and colonial symbols, the humble Lincoln penny did not get a special commemorative look. It quietly continued its standard design, Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, just as if the bicentennial celebration didn't include it at all. However, that simple, unchanged design has contributed to a unique interest around the 1976 penny. Collectors today constantly wonder, if the design didn't change, why is this coin still sought after? What makes it special? And what gives it value beyond its 1-cent face? Well, let's explore that. The metal that makes the magic. One of the first things collectors consider is what a coin is made of. The 1976 penny marks one of the final decades when pennies were still minted using the 95% copper and 5% zinc alloy, a mixture giving them a richer color, heavier feel, and, interestingly, more melt value than the pennies minted after 1982. Copper has always been an important material, and as its market value shifted over time, people began to look at older pennies as tiny pieces of collectible metal. While melting pennies is not legal today, the intrinsic copper value behind a pre-1982 penny still gives old coins a baseline worth that always sparks interest. But the 1976 penny's appeal doesn't stop with the metal. Not even close. Mint marks the hidden COD. If you take a 1976 penny and look just below the year, you may notice a small letter or no letter at all. And that tiny detail can make all the difference. For 1976, Lincoln pennies came from 3 different mints. Philadelphia, no mint. Mark Denver, marked with a small D. San Francisco, marked with an S. The San Francisco mint coins include both business strike coins and proof strikes. Proof coins, made with special polished dies and mirror-like surfaces, look sharper, shinier, and more refined than regular pennies. This makes them more desirable and often more valuable to collectors. But here's something even more fascinating. Tiny variations in how these mint marks appear, whether slightly tilted, doubled, weakly struck, or in the wrong position, can dramatically affect collector interest. Imagine millions of pennies passing through the minting machines. It only takes one moment, one alignment glitch, one tiny shift, to create a coin that stands out from the crowd. And this is where value begins to build at the quest for errors. When mistakes become trasures, no topic excites coin collectors more than errors. Wrong planchets, double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, filled mint marks, and broad strikes are the rock stars of the coin world. And the 1976 penny has its own share of these rare and fascinating minting mishaps. Imagine discovering a 1976 penny struck off-center, leaving part of the design missing, a penny with a die crack, creating a raised line that shouldn't exist, a double die obverse or reverse, where letters or features appear shadowed or doubled, a penny struck on a foreign coin planchet, giving it a wrong weight or odd color, a coin with a brockage, where another coin's impression is stamped onto it. These are the finds that get collectors' hearts racing. These are the finds that turn a simple penny into a seriously valuable piece. These are the finds that make you want to go check your old coffee can full of coins right now. The hunt in modern times. Why the 1976 penny still matters? You might wonder, if there are billions of 1976 pennies still out there, how could one be truly rare? The answer lies in 2 factors. 1. Survival condition. Millions of pennies circulate for decades. They get scratched, bent, tarnished, and worn down. But find one in pristine condition? That's a whole different story. Even normal pennies in extremely high mint state grades can become valuable. Point 2. Scarcity of flawless examples. Coins graded at MS67, MS68, or even higher are incredibly hard to find. The level of detail, shine, and cleanliness needed to hit these top grades is extremely demanding. Collectors fight over these gems because they represent the best of the best. That's why the search continues to this day. The excitement of finding a rare penny in pocket change is something that never goes out of style. And the 1976 penny, backed by history, copper composition, mint variety, error potential, and collector passion, continues to draw attention. Year after year, decade after decade. The heart of the value. What a 1976 penny can be. WRTH. Now it's time for what many viewers have been waiting for. The part where we talk about what the most attractive, desirable 1976 penny examples can actually be worth. Collectors look at three main things: mint mark condition errors or unusual features. High-grade Denver and Philadelphia pennies can command strong prices. Brilliant San Francisco proofs especially draw interest. And error coins? Those can reach shockingly high values depending on the rarity and condition. For the special examples we're focusing on today, the ones that represent the upper tier of collector desirability, the highlighted price comes to an exciting final value. Before we wrap up, take a moment to think about the power of this story. A tiny coin, just 1 cent in face value, minted nearly half a century ago, still circulating around pockets, glove compartments, coin jars, forgotten drawers, and yet, depending on condition and rarity, it can be worth many times its stamped value. Coins remind us that history isn't always locked away behind museum glass. Sometimes, history sits quietly in your pocket, waiting to be noticed. The 1976 Lincoln penny is more than copper. It's a symbol of the bicentennial era, a piece of American craftsmanship, and a potential treasure hiding in plain sight. So the next time you pick up a penny, especially one from 1976, take a moment to look closely. You never know, you might be holding more value than you realize, and maybe even a little piece of forgotten American history. We're taking a fascinating journey into the world of American coinage, specifically the 1980 United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny. You might think a penny made in the millions can't really be worth anything more than its face value, but the truth is far more interesting. Hidden treasures sometimes lie in the smallest pockets, and the 1980 Lincoln penny is one of those coins that can surprise collectors, beginners, and even people who never cared about coins at all. Sit back, because the script is about to take you through mint marks, metal composition, overlooked details, and the surprising collectible value that might be hiding inside your coin jar right now. The year 1980 was a transitional period for American coinage. Although the U.S. Mint wasn't making drastic design changes at the time, it was operating at massive production capacity. Inflation, rising metal prices, and increased economic circulation meant billions of pennies had to be struck to meet demand. The Lincoln cent, already a cultural icon since 1909, continued rolling off the presses in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But not all of these pennies are created equal. Some have mint-made quirks, others have brilliant eye appeal, and some were preserved so beautifully that collectors today compete to own the best examples. The mint mark on any U.S. coin tells you where the coin was made. In 1980, something very important happened. The Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally produced coins without a mint mark for denominations below a quarter, finally added the mint mark P to some of its coins, but not to the penny. That means every Philadelphia penny from 1980 still carries no mint mark. Denver pennies have the D, while San Francisco pennies, though not released for circulation, were struck with the S mint mark for collectors in proof sets. Understanding which mint produced your penny is the first step to understanding its potential value. The Denver Mint had high production, but the quality can vary depending on the die wear and planchet condition. Philadelphia coins are extremely common, but some of the highest graded examples come from this mint. The San Francisco proofs, however, are the gems, mirror-like surfaces, laser-sharp details, and striking contrast between the fields and devices. Modern collectors sometimes forget that prior to 1982, Lincoln pennies were made primarily of copper, not zinc. A 1980 penny consists of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Copper itself has value, and these pre-1982 pennies weigh 3.11 grams compared to the lighter 2.5-gram zinc pennies that followed. This means the 1980 penny feels more substantial in hand, looks richer in color, and resists corrosion better than modern cents. But metal composition alone does not make a penny valuable. What really matters is condition, rarity at high grade, and the presence of any special features. Coin grading is an art and a science. Collectors evaluate the sharpness of the details, the luster, the absence of scratches, and even the strength of the strike. Uncirculated coins, especially those graded by professional services, can sell for significantly more than worn circulation examples. A 1980 penny straight from a bankroll back then might look ordinary, but if it was stored properly, untouched, and retains its copper shine, it could command a premium today. Mint state 65, 66, 67, and above are dream territory for collectors of common-date coins. Every slight imperfection matters. Tiny marks, subtle wear, or faint discoloration can bring the value down. A flawless 1980 penny is surprisingly difficult to find because billions were produced, and almost all entered circulation immediately point. One of the most fascinating parts of the coin world is errors and varieties. Misaligned strikes, double dies, clip planchets, die cracks. These are all mistakes that escaped the mint and entered the hands of everyday people. While the 1980 penny is not particularly known for dramatic errors like the 1955 double die, there are still minor double dies, die breaks, repunched mint marks from Denver, and occasional off-center strikes. Collectors love error coins because they are unique. Even a modest error can make a penny worth more than you'd ever expect. Pair a clean error with an exceptional condition, and now you have a conversation-worthy treasure. Abraham Lincoln, whose profile has graced the front of the coin since 1909, is one of the most recognizable figures in American history. Sculpted by Victor David Brenner, the bust carries simplicity and dignity. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959, shows a detailed architectural structure, complete with the tiny seated statue of Lincoln inside. This design was replaced decades later in 2009, making the Memorial reverse era a nostalgic period for many collectors. The 1980 penny represents the heart of that Memorial era. Millions of Americans handled these coins daily during one of the most dynamic decades in U.S. history, marked by technological growth, cultural shifts, economic challenges, and iconic American imagery. Even though the 1980 penny is common, collectors seek out the absolute best preserved examples to complete their Lincoln cent sets. There is intense competition for high-grade Denver and Philadelphia coins because finding untouched examples is so challenging. Proof collectors chase the San Francisco version because of the mirror finish and deeper design details. Some collectors enjoy copper pennies for their metal value. Others collect them for nostalgia. They grew up with copper cents, and owning pristine examples is like holding a piece of childhood. The 1980 penny remains affordable for beginners yet exciting for experienced collectors, making it a perfect entry coin for anyone starting their numismatic journey. Most business strike pennies from 1980 are worth a small premium, but the finest ones, the top population coins, can sell for impressive prices in auctions and private collections. People often underestimate common pennies. You see them dropped on sidewalks, scattered at gas stations, or tossed in drawers without a second thought. But that's part of what makes finding a valuable one so thrilling. It's like uncovering treasure in everyday life. The 1980 penny teaches us that history, quality, and preservation matter more than rarity alone. Even a widespread coin can become exciting when you understand its deeper story. We're diving deep into the world of coin collecting, focusing on the 1981 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll discover its astonishing value in words that may surprise you. Before we talk about the 1981 D penny itself, let's take a journey back in time. The Lincoln penny, one of the most recognizable coins in the United States, was first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the penny has become more than just currency. It's a symbol of history, art, and American pride. Over the decades, the coin has undergone subtle changes in design, composition, and minting techniques, but its legacy remains strong. By 1981, the Lincoln penny had already established a long-standing tradition in coinage. That year, the United States Mint produced billions of pennies, but the 1981 D Mint mark coins, those struck in Denver, hold a particular appeal for collectors. While they may look similar to the pennies you might find in your pocket today, subtle details make them special. The D mint mark on the 1981 penny signifies that it was minted in Denver. Mint marks play a crucial role in the world of coin collecting because they indicate where a coin was produced. In the United States, the main mints are Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, San Francisco, S, and occasionally West Point, W. Each mint produces coins in different quantities, which can directly affect a coin's rarity and value. For the 1981 D Lincoln penny, millions were minted, but not all have survived in pristine condition. Coin collectors, known as numismatists, are often on the lookout for coins with exceptional features. Shiny surfaces, sharp details, and minimal wear. These high-quality specimens are the ones that can command a premium in the market. You might wonder why anyone would pay attention to pennies, especially modern ones that seem abundant. The truth is, the value of a coin is not just about how many were made. It's about condition, rarity, and historical significance. Collectors love Lincoln pennies because they offer a tangible connection to the past. They tell stories of the economy, of everyday life, and of how small details can become highly coveted over time. The 1981 D penny is particularly intriguing because it represents a transitional period in U.S. coinage. By the early 1980s, the mint had already switched to zinc-coated pennies, which are more prone to damage than the older, heavier copper pennies. This makes well-preserved 1981 D pennies a rare find today, especially those with sharp mint details and a brilliant finish. When it comes to valuing coins, condition is everything. Numismatists use a grading scale from poor, P1, to perfect mint state, MS, 70, to assess a coin's quality. A typical 1981 D penny found in circulation might show wear on Lincoln's face, scratches, or discoloration. However, a coin that has been carefully preserved, perhaps in a protective holder, can remain virtually untouched for decades. These coins are known as uncirculated and are highly sought after by collectors. For example, look closely at the details on the 1981 D penny. Lincoln's hair, the lines of his coat, and the letters in Liberty are all indicators of the coin's quality. Sharp, clear details often mean the coin is in high demand and can fetch a much higher price than one with worn surfaces. Even small imperfections, like a minor scratch or discoloration, can significantly affect its value. Another factor that influences the worth of the 1981 D Lincoln penny is rarity. While millions were minted, only a fraction of those coins remain in excellent condition today. Many pennies are lost, damaged, or thrown away over the years. When demand among collectors exceeds the available supply, prices rise. Coin collectors are also influenced by trends. Certain years or mint marks become popular due to errors, unique characteristics, or historical significance. The 1981 D penny, for instance, is considered a staple in any Lincoln penny collection. Its appeal is heightened because it represents the post-1970s era of U.S. coins, which were transitioning into modern compositions and minting techniques. Some people collect coins purely as a hobby, enjoying the thrill of hunting for rare finds. Others view coins like the 1981 D penny as an investment. Unlike paper money, coins can appreciate over time, particularly if they are rare, in high demand, or in exceptional condition. Investing in coins requires careful research. You need to know the minting history, condition grades, and market trends. The 1981 D Lincoln penny is a great example of a coin that has steadily gained attention from collectors. Its widespread recognition, combined with limited high-quality specimens, makes it a valuable addition to any collection or investment portfolio. If you're thinking about starting a collection or evaluating your pennies, here are a few tips. Check the mint mark. Always look for the mint mark to determine where it was produced. For the 1981 penny, the D mint mark is crucial. Assess the condition, examine details carefully. Coins with sharp features, clean surfaces, and no scratches are worth more. Look for uncirculated coins. These are pennies that haven't been used in everyday transactions and maintain their original shine. Research market trends. Prices fluctuate based on collector interest and availability, so stay informed. Handle with care. Oils from your fingers can damage a coin. Use gloves or hold coins by the edges. Abraham Lincoln is the only U.S. president to appear on a coin while having coins issued during his lifetime. The Lincoln penny has the longest-running design in U.S. coin history. Certain Lincoln pennies, especially those with errors like double dies or off-center strikes, can fetch thousands of dollars. The 1981 D penny may not have a famous error or a misprint, but its value comes from a combination of history, condition, and collectability. It represents an era when coins were transitioning from heavy copper to more common materials. It's also a symbol of continuity. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of modern United States cents, focusing on one particular coin that has taken the hobby community by surprise: the 2016 mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at everyday pocket change the same way again. Setting the stage. Why 2016 matters when people think of valuable pennies. They often picture classics like the 1909 SVDB or the 1955 double die. But the coin we're discussing today isn't old, rare from birth, or pulled out of a century-old coin folder hidden in an attic. No, the 2016 Lincoln cent is a modern coin you could have received as change from a convenience store just a few years ago. So why are collectors buzzing about this common-looking penny? What gives it a surprising edge in today's coin market? Let's step into the story behind it. A quick look at the design the 2016 Lincoln cent carries, a design you've seen countless times. Abraham Lincoln's profile, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. On the reverse side is the Union Shield, a design adopted in 2010 to emphasize America's unity and Lincoln's role in preserving it. But what makes the 2016 coins interesting isn't simply their artwork. It's the tiny letter resting just below the date. Understanding the mint marks tell you where a coin was produced. For 2016 Lincoln pennies, the mint marks include tongue sticking out for Philadelphia D for Denver's for San Francisco. Most everyday pocket change pennies come from Philadelphia and Denver. San Francisco produces proof coins, special mirror-finished coins made for collectors rather than circulation. These mint marks may be small, but they can make a huge difference in value depending on the condition, rarity, and demand from collectors. Why condition is the king of value. Condition plays a central role in determining the worth of any coin, especially modern ones. The 2016 Lincoln cent is no exception. Freshly minted pennies, never touched by human hands and secured in sealed packaging, can look flawless. These near-perfect grades are where value truly skyrockets. Grading agencies like PCGS and NGC use a numerical scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing absolute perfection, a coin with no visible flaws even under magnification. Very few coins earn this grade. A 2016 penny that earns a grade in the high 60s can quickly attract attention from competitive collectors. They want the best of the best, the absolute finest coin available, even if it was minted only a few years ago. What makes some 2016 pennies stand out? What transforms an ordinary 2016 penny into a treasure worth searching for? Let's break it down. 1. Flawless or nearly flawless condition. Coins straight from mint sets or rolls often boast sharp detail, brilliant shine, and minimal marks. These are the coins that can climb in value. 2. Mint errors and variations. Modern errors, off-center strikes, die clashes, missing letters, double dies, and more happen less frequently thanks to improved minting technology, but they do still occur. A 2016 penny with a striking error or unusual die variety becomes significantly more attractive to collectors. 3. Proof coins from San Francisco's mint proof cents are created with exceptional detail and a mirror-like finish. These coins are never intended for circulation and often become collector favorites. High-grade 2016 S-proofs can command impressive prices. 4. The growing popularity of modern coins. The hobby has shifted. Younger collectors love modern coins. They're accessible, affordable, and easy to find. As demand rises, even recent coins from the 2010s can surge in value. The market's unexpected interest in newer pennies. You might ask, why would someone pay good money for a penny that's barely 10 years old? The answer lies in the world of competitive grading and registry sets. Many collectors enter their coins into online registries where scores are awarded for the highest graded examples. If only a handful of 2016 pennies exist in top-tier condition, competition grows fierce and prices climb sharply. That's where modern coins, especially those with perfect or near-perfect grades, become surprisingly valuable. What collectors look for in the 2016 pennies? Let's walk through the characteristics that collectors examine closely. Strike quality. Is the shield crisp? Are the lines clear? Luster. Is the surface rich and glowing, or dull and spotted? Contact marks. Are there any scratches or blemishes from coin-to-coin contact? Eye appeal. Does the coin simply look exceptional? Coins with the best combination of these attributes rise to the top of the market. A closer look at each mint mark. The Philadelphia Mint, P. Philadelphia cents are plentiful but can be highly desirable in ultra-high grades. A tiny scratch can drop a coin several grade points, so flawless examples are much rarer than one might think. The Denver Mint, D. Denver coins are known for strong strikes, but they often suffer from small marks due to the high volume of coins produced. This makes perfect or nearly perfect examples especially valuable. The San Francisco Mint, S. Proof coins from San Francisco are specially handled, resulting in incredibly sharp details. Their beauty and preservation make them top choices for collectors. Finding these coins in the wild, you might be surprised how often collectors discover high-value modern coins in bank rolls, pocket change, bulk coin bags, unsearched rolls, mint sets purchased years ago and forgotten in drawers. Many people don't realize that modern coins can have substantial value. So a sharp-eyed collector can strike gold or copper where least expected. Why you should check your 2016 pennies? Here's the exciting part. Anyone can join the hunt. You don't need experience or expensive equipment. Start by looking at the mint mark, checking for unusual shapes, doubling, or misaligned details, inspecting the luster and general condition, keeping aside any coins that look sharper or cleaner than the rest. The thrill of discovery is what makes coin collecting a timeless hobby. The importance of professional grading. You might find a 2016 penny that looks absolutely flawless, but the only way to confirm its true grade and value is through professional grading. A coin that grades high can leap dramatically in worth. Grading helps authenticate the coin, preserve it for the future, and give you a standardized evaluation should you decide to sell it. For modern coins like the 2016 penny, grading can turn pocket change into something truly remarkable. The joy of collecting modern coins, even beyond value, there's something special about collecting coins from our own time. You're documenting history as it happens. Future generations may one day look back at 2016 the way we look at coins from 1910 or 1950 now. Every coin tells a story about the minting process, about America during the year it was struck, and about the changing landscape of the hobby. Bringing it all together, so what have we discovered? The 2016 Lincoln penny might seem ordinary at first glance, but it holds surprising potential. Whether it's the result of flawless condition, a rare error, a stunning proof strike, or a top-tier grade, these coins can become prized additions to any collection.